we have now had our first set of requirements for the upcoming legendary Journey Guide event unit, Darth Jar Jar, who nobody saw coming. Not only that, we have also got our first official announcement for the next totally not it's GL Mando and Grogu. There's a lot for us to go over, some good stuff and some real terrible stuff. If you didn't invest in Rod of the Hutt, you might be kicking yourself just a little bit. CG probably should have signposted this a little bit better, but it is not all bad news. Let's talk about it. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video with me, your bald boy scribe. How the devil are we all doing? Settle down, settle in, and let's take full advantage, ladies and gentlemen, of everything that we've got to go over today. Huge amounts of news, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute huge amounts of news. Let's head over to the newsletter first and foremost. The era of myths and leg ends are here. Our new characters. We have a massive kit reveal video that I put out earlier today. If you want to have a look into them, be my guest. Hand in marriage, first unit that we're getting is Mara Jade Skywalker. She is looking super fine. Can't wait to be using her. She's going to be a great kit. Our first requirements for Darth Jar Jar are as follows. Should come as no surprise. All of the marquees apart from Ronin at 4 stars. For the 4-star unlock, you need error level 90 on Yoda Dark Side Vision, okay? So make sure you save and allocate your materials appropriately if you're only going to 4 or 5 stars. Similarly, if you're going for the 5-star unlock, you need to get them all to 5 stars, and you need to take Starkiller Luke Concept up to error level 95. Plan your leveling accordingly. Next up, Tier 3, 6 stars on all characters, including the Ronin, who is going to be the final marquee from this particular era. Required to play, you will use this in the tier Mara Jade Skywalker at error level 110. So that is going to be your priority in terms of making sure these characters do have the right error levels. Mara Jade to 110, Starkiller to 95, and Yoda to 90 at the bare minimum. If you're going for the full balls to the walls, absolutely crazy, spaffing money up the wall approach, you need to have every new marquee at 7 stars. They will all need to be error level 125, and you will be gifted a Journey Guide unit for the particular event. Level 130 on Darth Jar Jar. Okay, cool. First and foremost, before we jump into it then, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to take a moment and just take a look at this upcoming Yoda. You can see him. Where can we see him? We go to the Journey Guide. That's it. Over to the Journey Guide. Drop down to the bottom over here. If you check it out, you can actually see all of the units. So here's Darth Jar Jar. It's got a really great animation. I love it. And then let's just see for a second just down here. So you can see Yoda Dark Side Vision that looks like Smeagol, like a little gremlin. Looks absolutely sick. I absolutely love this character model. It looks amazing. I like, hands down. Then we've got the Ronin over here. Yeah, baby. Come on. And then you got Sidious and Maul, and they're just the same. So, still, I really love the Dark Side Yoda. Looks amazing. Looks absolutely sick. Now, I want to get the real good news out of the way before we get hit by the bad, okay? Good news. Good news. They have fixed the reward tier of the 5-star unlock of the Journey Guide event. So once again, when we come back here, you will see that the Mark 7 ability modules are now back in the reward pool for the 5-star unlock. This was a massive faux pas by CG in Rod of the Hutt's event. With this back in play, if you get the 5-star unlock, you will be able to take 6 of your characters up to the relic levels without spending any further money. It saves you about $70 in the long run if you're going for the full 7-star unlock. So good on CG for fixing this reward structure this time. Thank you for giving us the communication and being upfront and honest about it. We are still getting the 3 Lightspeed tokens at tier 2, and we are still getting the 2 Lightspeed tokens at the tier 1. So you're getting everything that you used to. Not only that, but the tier 3 rewards remain elevated like they did before. We're still getting those additional things. We're still getting fragmented signal data, incomplete signal data, error upgrade special 1. I don't know what that is. We're getting chromium transistors, we're getting zimbiddles, impulse detectors, aeromags, really good rewards. The final tier of rewards over here, you need to be error level 125 like I went over before. You are getting the portrait, you're getting Misa the Phantom Menace. And you're getting huge amounts of incomplete and flawed signal data, loads of electrum conductors, imbiddles, impulse detectors, zero magnifiers, girder keypads, and droid brains. Really strong rewards. They do talk about it over here. As we transition into Myths and Legends era, we have changes to share with you regarding the progression and event rewards. 1. Journey Guide Tier 2 rewards are restored. Tier 2 of the Journey Guide will once again reward you with 6,700 Mark 7 ability modules and 330 Mark 7 Masterwork Performance cores. In cash terms, this works out to about $70. Okay, it's real tangible money. These restored rewards are enough to upgrade 6 characters from era level 110 to 116. So if you are doing this, do it sensibly. Make sure you focus those levels on the marquees themselves if you are pushing for a 7-star unlock, okay? Otherwise, you're going to have to spend additional money. Don't blow it all immediately on Jar Jar. Save the rewards, focus on the marquees. Unless you are stopping at 5-star unlock, then it's really up to you how you invest, okay? Marquee tuning, they've adjusted the rewards in the first, second, and third marquee events. This doesn't have any tangible impact. This is only on the materials that we get. They're giving us less, but it doesn't matter because they're like the Mark 1, 2, 3, 4s that everybody should have plenty of anyway. You get way too many of the rewards, generally speaking, so this won't impact any of our leveling progression, as far as I'm concerned anyway. So that's all very well and good. Some real positive changes there. Happy to see some communication on it. Thank you, CG. That is all we are looking for. Now let's get into the GL announcement and let's get into a little bit of speculation here. I've seen it floating around. Quite literally, it's a ship. We'll talk about it. We'll address the bugbear in the room and I'll give my thoughts on it if that's of any valuable to you. Okay, Journey Guide. We have got totally not Beskar Armor and Mando. Beskar Armor, Mando and Grogu. We know who it is, guys. We know it's that. Okay, so first and foremost, first requirement, our very first Relic 10 requirement in the Journey Guide, OG Mandalorian at Relic 10. Heavy investment in a tune that you really don't want a Relic 10. CG knows exactly what they're doing here. They want you to invest in a crappy unit. Thematically, it makes sense. In the future, if another set of requirements is have Beskar Armor Mando at Relic 10, I would not be surprised. If IG-12 and Grogu is Relic 10, if IG-11 is Relic 10, I would not be surprised for future updates. Then you've got R5, D4 at Relic 9. Personally, this doesn't bother me because if you went full send into the Rot of the Hutt event, you're going to want to take all those marquees to Relic 9 and Rotta to Relic 10 to get the Error event unlocked. The Error battle that gives you massive rewards. Over 20,000 crystals, a load of endgame materials for Relic leveling. To me, this is free. To new players coming into the game, trying to farm up their Beskar Armor, Mando and Grogu in the future, a little bit different, right? A little bit different, a little bit more painful. But presumably R5 will be on the endgame team and that will be all fine and good. Next up, Grief Cargo at Relic 7. Shouldn't really come as too much of a surprise. Relic 7 is really accessible these days, not bad. But this is the one that CG really shot themselves in the foot with, in my opinion. This is a little unfair. Rot of the Hutt, the last Journey Guide unit being a requirement at Relic 6, which means 7 stars or bust, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't get your Rot of the Hutt to 7 stars, you're going to be waiting. You're going to be a slave to when CG decides to bring this event back. Now, I do think, as with most seasonal Journey Guide units, they tend to come back every 3 months. That much is true. Tends to come back every 3 months. The units from this era will start releasing as free-to-play farmable in the next week, and they'll come out every 2 weeks. You'll be able to farm up all the marquee units very quickly if you have prepped accordingly, but you will be a slave to whenever CG decides to release the event again. I fully expect us to be seeing the Mando and Grogu Galactic Legend release probably in the next 4 to 6 weeks. I do not have any insider information on this. This is complete speculation, but I'm assuming that we are probably going to get one set of requirements every week or every 2 weeks for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Basically, we should have 4 sets of these. Fully expect every single marquee from the last era to be anywhere between Relic 7 to Relic 9 requirements. Fully expect us to see other units from Mando's past be requirements at high Relic levels. I'm talking about things like DTMG, OG Moff Gideon, maybe versions of Ahsoka, maybe Cara Dune, things like that. You know, fully expect those people to be requirements in this alongside our other Grogus that appear in the game. So, yep, be fully prepared for that. Bo-Katan Mandalore maybe, Paz Vizsla maybe, loads of units that they can introduce. Usually we do have a ship requirement. It's probably going to be the Razor Crest, which means you can double dip if you've already gone in and got it for, say, the Executor. Overall, I'm not too surprised, not too worried. I do not like the Rot of the Hutt. I feel like this should have been signposted. With the marquees, CG did say this marquee will be a requirement for the upcoming GL. They did not say Rot of the Hutt will be a requirement. My only problem is I know the people that have got R5 and all that sort of business, they're going to be ready straight away. They could have unlocked Rotter. They could have made that choice. More people would have pushed for Rotter, I feel, if CG said he will be a requirement with the new GL. Okay? My issue with this is you are now going to be completely at the mercy of when CG release Rot of the Hutt again. He could come back in 3 months, he might come back in 6 months. We have had units that don't appear back in the journey guide for extended periods of time, and that can be a very big frustration point for a lot of players. Once again, this should have just been made signposted utterly clearly. This will be a requirement. So, say what you want about that, ladies and gentlemen. Say what you want about that. Anyway, one last thing before I forget, ladies and gentlemen. Forgot to go over the poster over here real quick. One, the units here look absolutely sick. I absolutely love this artwork that they've got going on. Looks really good. Dark Yoda over there. Looks like the creepiest little goblin you've ever seen. And some people have been theorizing around this in the background. This is Darth Jar Jar with his dual-wield lightsaber. That's clearly a Dark Millennium Falcon. Now, are CG going to release Dark Millennium Falcon? I think that the opportunity is there for it. However, that being said, I want you to take it with the biggest fistful of salt. Couple of reasons why. Jar Jar's a Sith and a Gungan, right? He's not going to be having a ship that doesn't have those same tags. It's not like this ship is going to be a rebel ship. It's not like it's going to be a First Order ship or a Resistance ship. It's not going to be an Empire ship. It's not going to be a Gungan ship. Let's be real. It'll be a Sith ship if it comes, which means Leviathan synergy. Maybe at a pinch, Empire, right? Maybe at a pinch. We don't need a lifter to the Leviathan. So, I don't think this ship is coming anytime soon. I think they are dangling and flirting with the possibility of releasing it sometime in the future. Maybe next year. I feel like eventually CG are going to start giving us ships again. We need to see more ships. The ship meta is stale, it's dead in the water, and I'm hoping that CG are going to address this. I feel like they spoke about it the end of last era. They said, we are not giving up on TW, GAC, and ships. They do want to give it the time, and I'm hoping it's a priority for them. I wouldn't read too much into this right now. I do think it's coming at some point, but no time soon. Maybe in a year. That's all I'll say on the matter. That's all I have to say on the matter for now. I will be releasing a guide going over the upcoming Darth Jar Jar event, how to unlock Darth Jar Jar at the free-to-play, the minimum spender, the dolphin, and the whale approach. I'll go through the full guide on that, teach you guys how to prepare yourself to save yourself some money, to save yourself some heartache and pain. Please, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not subscribed already, subscribe to the tribe. Give me a like on the video down below, a comment with your name and your address and your social security number. Don't do any of that, please. Have a brain. And I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.